Welcome back to another episode of Warren Cali. In this episode, I'm going to detail the story of a teenager getting killed in Sacramento. Now, we know most gang members start early in the streets. Growing up in the hood, you may join a gang early with the influences around you and the friend group you choose. Most kids join gangs at elementary to their teenage years. And joining the gang puts you in a lot of different situations to prove yourself, which can go all bad. Now, this is exactly what happened with Oak Park teenager Tamir Williams, also known as Lul Mir. Mir was 15 and was a part of a younger Oak Park crew known as BOE. Oak Park is a blood hood that was established in the 80s and rose to fame nationally in the 2010s, with several rappers rising in the rap world with the likes of Mozzie and several others. So this put Sacramento, and especially Oak Park youth, in the spotlight to start rap careers, and most did. The BOE crew took advantage, having a long list of rappers in their crew. Now Mir, he'll be dropping freestyles on Instagram, just like most people in that era, trying to blow up, but in his songs, he was heavily dissing his enemy gangs, and also dissing them in pictures.
We gotta be the top 10, ain't on nothing love but don't shoot. Our body shit, we the ones that stack jumping like TVs on the fat bitch. Could've all blood, but it's jam, bad timing. You say you too free, so fill up and I have no fucking dead with it, foot on the gas. That's the ghost riding, both fingers up, 6 more if you do, you dying. I know you see the sun, so ask how I'm shining, and if you don't, it's for you. But I'm down for swipe.
But unfortunately for Mir, the streets would catch up to him. Sacramento PD were sent out to the scene at 7:53 p.m. September 26, 2017. They would find 2 boys. One was unresponsive, while the other was conscious and talking. Police provided medical aid until other personnel arrived and took over life-saving efforts. Both boys were taken by Sacramento Fire Department personnel to an area hospital, where Mir was later pronounced dead at the hospital, police said. The other teenager shot with Mir was BOE 60, who I covered in my Sac Rap Snitches episode, where I exposed his paperwork. Check that out if you haven't. He would survive the shooting, but Mir wouldn't be so lucky.
Out here this morning, they have the crime tape up here on 64th Street, though we haven't seen a lot of activity here in the last hour or so, but they still have this whole area taped off for about a block and a half area as they continue to investigate the shooting that was first reported around 7:53 last night, just before 8 o'clock. And officers got here. They said they found 2 15-year-old boys gunned down in the middle of the street. One of those boys was unresponsive. The fire department got there to assist the police department in life-saving measures, but sadly that 15-year-old boy was pronounced dead at the hospital. The second is being treated for what is described to us by Sacramento police as life-threatening injuries. Meanwhile, they said they have very little on suspect information. They're still trying to learn more about the boys and whether or not they actually live in this neighborhood or if they were visiting this neighborhood and why they would have been in this neighborhood. They said all indications at this point were pointing that they were not from the neighborhood, as they continue to interview neighbors and anyone who may have seen anything in what they're calling a tragic incident with 2 boys gunned down.
We know that this shooting happened outside on the street. We're still looking into the relationship, why these 2 individuals were in this neighborhood, whether they lived here, they have friends here. That's still very unclear to us.
And they also were not able to release any suspect information at the time as they continue to piece all of this together and interview anyone, and also looking to see if any of these homes around here had surveillance cameras that perhaps could have seen somebody running or a vehicle fleeing from the area following that shooting.
Sac police believe the teens may have been in the area to commit a home invasion robbery. A Sac PD spokesperson said the boys are in front of a particular neighborhood, and investigators also noted they do not believe the shooting to be gang-related and called this incident an isolated one. Police said no firearms were found on the boys once police arrived. Investigators haven't been able to determine if the gunman was walking by, driving by, or in a home. However, witnesses helped the police conclude the boys were would-be criminals turned victims of a crime, and the shooter was not charged.
And calls it a generally safe neighborhood. Police believe the 2 15-year-old boys were in the neighborhood to commit a home invasion robbery, but police won't yet say who or how many people may have fired a gun, and say no guns were found on the teens when police arrived on scene.
I'm not going to go into who is the people of interest in this case, but the parties that have been involved in this situation have been identified and are speaking with detectives.
Mir will be a big loss in Oak Park among the youth and several other gang members in the area and also the community. The school he went to in Oak Park, called Sac High, instead of eagerly anticipating Spirit Week, they mourned his death. Everyone on Instagram posted pictures in his honor and hashtags Long Live Mir. Oak Park rapper Mozzie even paid for his funeral. Mir's death will make an impact in Oak Park. They will honor him in murals, and several rappers from his area will mention him in songs and keep his name alive by repping what they would call themselves Mir Gang, and even using the term 1031, which was his birthday. But many gangs that were enemies of Oak Park will make fun of his death, even going as far as going to his grave and stomping at his headstone, and doing even things more worse.
Nigga, watch out, Stacks. Blood Street Park. What's up? Pick blood out. Blood need help. That's our brother. And I'm about to piss on him.
Now, Mir was only 15. He may have died in the streets, but that's an unfortunate outcome for anybody. This will conclude this episode. If you haven't already, check out my previous episodes. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.